Welcome back to Movie Do, everybody. Very exciting day today. What I'm going to be looking at today is, give you a good show. I was lucky enough to get 2 of these before they went out. There was 40 made. This is bag 29 of the run of 40, and I'm going to be using that over the wee jock today. And I've been sent some different mats for the wee jock. There's the traditional sawtooth. Works great, but if you do have a big nug, it might miss out on there, I guess. It might run over. We've got different styles here. This is a wider sawtooth there. These are experimental, so I'm going to be mixing them about. I've got a couple of them bags to do. So, yeah, that's like a dream mat, I guess, the style I've seen before. Different sort of mat, not the sawtooth. There's a dream mat in at the moment. I've got a wider sawtooth there, so I'm intrigued. I've got a few different mats to try. We're all set to go. We're up and running. The level's good. I'm happy with the flow. So, see, sometimes Santa does come early. So here we go. Get into this one. A very, very limited edition run from Goldwise. It's already out of stock, so if you didn't get in there quick, you'd have missed out. So, I'm going to dump it straight in now. I would sometimes sieve. I'm not going to today, because I'm just going to roll it all over. Lovely chunky bits of quartz in there as usual. Look at that, how strong. All this is going to get crushed. It's all going to get crushed. So, anyway, excuse me for dallying a little bit of water in there. So here we go. We're going to run our Santa's hoard. It's got a 0.5 minimum, and with a bit of luck, we'll find a nice picker in there. So we're going to run it over the new style of mat. It looks a bit like a dream mat. Could have classified this down a little bit, but hey, let's just run it over and see what happens. Oh, it's retained quite a lot of material, and you can see the material spinning around in them little circle zones. Seems to have dealt with that quite well. Dump the next load in. Wow. Well, I can see that. I can see the materials all jumping about and bouncing around in there. And I can already see gold up there. There's quite some rock. It's a big old chunk. Whoa. Now this is quite a chunk of rock, but could be fool's gold, it's been fooled before, but there is a definite glint in the side of that rock. I'm going to put that a little bit aside and check it out in a bit. Anyway, back with it. Hope everyone's good. Hope you're out there today. See if you can find some of the shiny in your rivers and streams. No, unfortunately, hundreds and hundreds of miles away from any sort of gold bearing area, but thankfully I've got good friends, and I get sent some epic pay dirt. Look at that. Yeah, I should have took out a couple of them bigger chunks of quartz, but they roll out okay. I can see several bits of gold in there now. Quite a bit of material, but I can see it dancing around, so it is being agitated in there. Certainly holds it into them circle of grooves. I'll take that big old chunk out, I know that'll jam up. I've got everything going into a pan. So, big stone, big stone. Yeah, I've got everything going into a pan, so I'm not going to lose anything. Well, I certainly like that one. I could have kept it out to show you, but I wanted one ready to go in the sluice, as it were. More big chunks of quartz. Look at that. As I say, I have my hand under there and it's filtering out all the little stones. Look, you can see them. Continuous process, all the little bits of gravel and stone. So if you left it running for a little while, it's going to thin that material out. Not that it's holding masses anyway. Get rid of that big stone. It'd be interesting to see how the wider sawtooth goes. I'm interested to use that one. So there's a fair bit of material in there, but not masses. Just about at the end of it now. Big chunks of quartz. Big old chunks of quartz. See if I can do this well for the camera. Excuse me. Shimmy, shimmy, shake, shake. I'm just dropping the last bits on there now. Not bad. Excuse the poor camera. Well, I can see quite a bit of old pyrites in there. There might be some very fine gold in there. So that's it. So that's the first bag over. Great stuff. I was very excited to see that come out. So there's in each bag you've got a piece about 0.1, 0.15 hopefully, and one bag contains a 0.25 little nuggy picker. And I can see some nice gold in there, some funky little shapes. Is it still thinning out? Let's have a look. Yeah, there's still bits of gravel in my hand, so the sluice is thinning out the materials. I wonder how long it would be to clear out. You know, maybe run it for 10 minutes maybe, I'm not sure. Visible gold in the little cup areas, so that's a good sign. There's a nice piece sat there. So, this is the first test with the dream match style. I'll see if I can unclip you and bring you over. I'm going to get the pump, let it run for a few minutes, get the pump off, and then I'm going to change the mat to the different style. I'm not sure, not whether to go to the spaced out. It's got quite some groove in there, so the bit of gold sits in, it should tuck in again. Or we've got this one. It's just an extension of this, the very tight sawtooth to a wider gap one. So I'm kind of intrigued. I'm not quite sure. I probably won't decide till the moment. So let me see if I can bring you round, and I want to show you the gold that's sat up in this matting. Is it still draining? Not so much. There's not so much material in my hand now, but it is still moving the light material off. So it is still filtering. So I think if I left that a while, that would filter out to be quite clean. So bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to dry my hands off, and let me see if I can bring you over nice and neatly. Here we go. So yeah, here we go. As I said, it's got some sort of like, it's like a dream mat sort of style. There it is. It's got some material in, not masses, and to bring you up to the top, and you can see the gold sat there now. It contrast is fabulous. Look at that lovely bit there, look. I can see several chunky bits right in the top part of the mat, and it looks like it grabbed hold of it really quickly. Don't see much evidence. There's a couple of pieces there. So I'll let that thin down. That's the first bag run over, the dream mat style. I'd call it the dream mat style. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but I'm going to give it 5 minutes and we'll see what the capture rate's like. I'll check the tailings pan, and we will go from there. Thanks for joining me. Very enjoyable testing afternoon and finding some beautiful gold. Mooby Doo Golden Treasure Prospecting, signing off.